Stevens Greenhouse and Floral would like to remind you that we are fully stocked for all your spring planting needs.
As we start, I've made up a sheet here just to hand out. It's not to get voted on, this is just to see. Later, this will be assigned to probably the Water Sewer Committee to start the process. There's some sheets up here if people wanted to read along on it. If you want, for the public hearing. On the sheets, what it is the plan right now, what we're doing is asking to, or trying to decide to do a $12 increase on the water rates. That increase is going to be for what they call EBU. Based on that, it'll be flat. It would not depend upon how much water you use. It's just that amount every month. Okay, but here's also something we're going to try to do that I believe can work. The top part on the first sheet, first part is the budget for this project that we're talking about. They're replacing the water lines that go down Washington and Idaho, and also going across out to Field 2 across the river to the west side tank area. The total of the whole project is $4.4 million. So, and we're leaning towards having to borrow about $3.77 million of it all. The plan that I'm trying to do here, and I think some of it is very likely, the other one is going to have to take a little discussion, but I think it's all likely, or all possible. What we're going to try to do is do the American Rescue Plan Act. And what I did was, the sheets on the back of it is the state law, the House Bill 632, what it finally ended up to be. This is where I'm taking the information from. There's two sections, section 2, and 2.3, and then section 4. First off, for section 3, the money that they allocated to every city and county, I believe, is they're basing upon what would be gas tax. It's just the calculation on how much money you're getting, not can you use it for streets. This has to go to either water, sewer, or broadband. The city has allocated to it $723,000 out of that. The plan is we will use, and the problem is on this, so it's not really a problem, but we got to have matching funds. So if I take $1 from the ARPA, they call it American Rescue Plan, take $1 from that, then we have to put $1 or have $1 in the fund to cover it. That's the match, okay? But we were lucky and got through that we got $625,000 for grants from TCEP and RRGL. And we can use those grants as matching funds. So the plan is for that is, that's what about the middle of it under the grant. I think we can get, I know we're pretty close for sure that we can get the $723,000. The question now is, can you get the $1.355 million? That would be under the section 2 and 3. That is a competitive grant. That means you just have to apply, you go up there to the state and argue. There's a committee formed to decide who gets it. They'll recommend to the governor if the governor agrees. Yeah, and that's in the section 1 is the commission that talks about that in the law. And 2 is how much money. So right there's $462 million sitting there to be given out as grants. So with the loan that we're getting, now you gotta remember this, we don't know if this all falls into place until October. Okay, that's when they give out the money. So it won't be till October before we find out if we won the grants or not. But I'm hoping to get from them a little over $2 million. So if all that falls into place, that would then change it so we might be looking at a water rate to be instead of $12, around $5.50 to $6 a month. So about half, maybe a little more. So, but again, tonight, all we're discussing tonight is the $12 because this is we've got to try for it. And there's no promise we'll get it. I think it's a good chance to talk to the people in the state. And they think it's a very good chance of getting it, but there's no promise on this. So that was my little spiel on trying to help the city some. So now we'll send out, is there anybody in the audience that has either pro or con or just questions on this? Feel free. We need you to get up there to the microphone, if you would. State your name and then your statement or question.
Name is Jerry Hirsch. Question, are there any other projects that these funds would be allocated to, or your consideration if you are on the board at all?
You mean the ARPA funds?
Yes.
Right now, at this point, no. And the biggest problem is coming up with the matching. You know, so only reason we can come up with the matching is with the grants and we have to do the loan. That $3.777 million loan. But the way the loan is getting structured is we can pay everything off and take it down really fast, and they recalculate everything and lower how much we have to pay every month or probably every twice a year.
Okay.
But right now, you can only use it on water, sewer, broadband. We have no sewer project planned. I mean, we've already done that, you know. Now, it's possible, what we are, if you read the law, we're limited that they won't give us out any money over 25 million. So we still have a shot at more. An option we might try, and I don't know how likely it is because the project's already done. This one's in the process, it's just getting ready to start in a little bit, but the other ones are done. See if we can get some money to help offset. I don't think we can. I don't know. I got to talk to the board for the payoff part of our sewer, so we can lower that $29.92 to whatever. But since that's been done, I'm not sure if it qualifies. I got to look into the numbers with them. That's the only ones I could see that we could use it on, other money.
Mayor, you mentioned that there's a good chance we'll acquire the funds. How about other communities out there right now that you're aware of that have a shot at it as well?
Not sure of the question. Is there any others? I mean, the whole state is
Yeah, well, both states vying for that.
$460 million.
Okay.
But they have to spend it only on water, sewer, or broadband.
Is that class one cities too?
Yeah, all of them, everybody's open, and counties too.
Okay. All right, thank you very much.
So we are in a plus position on this because we have a project that's just starting. And so they're going to try to help them first. So we'll just see.
I am Taylor Perez. Some of you might know me better as Taylor Vesno. I just have a comment. I think all of us balk a little when money is asked of us to make improvements on things like this. But if it's for the greater good, I'm for it. And that's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you. I mean, the reason it's started was the water line that crosses the field. It's one of our main water lines that goes on the west side.
Which
That's-
field?
Hmm?
Which field?
It goes right by the,
Dirt weeds and
yeah, urban wheat owns the property,
not the dump road.
what the hell is it?
The dump road.
Yeah, the dump
Oh.
road, but also the,
Okay.
well, that's the tank is on the dump road.
Okay.
Fairgrounds, that's the word I'm trying to. The line goes right about, comes into the town by the fairgrounds, right behind it. And it goes right out, if you just look there and look along out in, it'll go kind of straight right across and it has to cross the river. And the way right now is we have to go drill under the river to put it. And about 5, 6 years ago, we hired an engineering firm to go down and test the water lines out there. And it turned out that the testing, there's some parts of the water line that are sitting in water, you know, they're groundwater. It's starting to rot away. And so they gave us 10 years, now 6 years ago, that would fail. If that fails, that's half of our water right there. And that would not be easy to fix. So that's really what started this whole,
It's half of Dillon's water?
yeah.
Okay.
Actually, that's a 1 million gallon tank, and the other one that's over on the east side, by the shooting, the trap range. Okay, there's one there, that's about 750,000 gallons. So this one has 2 of our wells. So we got 4 wells for Dillon, that's 2 of them on that side, so we lose half of our wells. The other one is just, one of the wells is number 3, we call it, that's sitting right outside here, right outside City Hall, just a few feet away.
Oh, okay.
And then one's in Child's Park, so right next to Child's Park. Those are wells, those 2 will still be in, but if that water line goes, we're really much SOL. That's the main reason that Drew drove this here, was that.
That makes a lot of sense.
Not that we like it, it's just,
Current state of affairs.
but that line was put in, what we can trace is like in 1930. And it's cast iron, so that's why it's rotting away some. Some parts are still solid, some are not.
Sounds like most of us.
Is it gonna improve the water quality?
And I shouldn't change that. Any other comments?
Do we get our money back if we don't get the grant? Maybe.
Probably not. If we don't get it, if we get it, I'll talk to the council and beg them to lower the rates. And I doubt we'll have a problem, but I'm not speaking for them if we get them.
You know, the car key.
Oh, no, I'm just gonna let her walk around on the sidewalk.
I have a quick comment, you know, you say the $12 thing, and if we get the grants, could go back down to $6 or whatever.
Somewhere in there, yeah.
Can, instead of going back down and then 20 years from now, or 10 years from now, we have to raise the rates again, keep it at $12 and bank whatever extra it somewhere, so when the matching funds come up, we have this big pool of money that's designated for just water. Or can the city carry that much money?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Because that's what it is, I hear a lot of people, you know, this year you ask for $6, then 2 years from now, you ask for another $5. It's just, you know, okay, we make $12 now, everyone gets used to paying it. Then another project comes in, we don't have to raise the rates. You know, just looking down the future, because water lines go bad, sewer lines go bad. There's always, if we had extra money in the bank, all of a sudden, yeah, we have this much money, apply for matching grants.
Would the city do that?
It's a government agency, you know, they need to save money, in my opinion. I know, but you know,
How
that's,
did you spend it?
but that's what it is, it has to be, if we did it, you know, it would have to be set up, so we did save it, I guess, for water. But that's a lot of people talk to me about it, that just, they're constantly, you know, it's $5 here, next year is $5, you know, just constantly ever asking for money. Instead of, hey, let's go up to $15 and then forget about it for the next 20 years asking money.
Well, when we.
But
did
just
the-
something with it, you know, it all contends on a lot of other things.
Well, when we did the last rate increase was in 2015, and we never had to change it again after that, so it's been set the same for 6 years. And right now, we're bringing in enough money to keep everything running and keep small breaks and that going and fixed. You can see, just to do a few water lines around, it gets pretty costly. You might be able to save, right now, we're probably, I can't remember, 3 million in water sewer funds. Okay, so, and maybe 4, can't remember right off the top of my head. Well, that's the whole city, has like 5, I
No,
think.
355.
No.
So it was in the water.
So we have some money in there already, but not enough to cover this whole,
Yeah.
you know.
To get the
And a
match.
lot of people are kind of nervous, and myself is one of them, that it always seems, this is just my opinion, not that I've done this on my term, is as soon as you got the money sitting in there, a project will come.
Yeah.
The money is there, a project will be. So if you don't have the money, then you really gotta, like we down here, is we waited as long as we could, and then had to do this to fix, so. That's just me,
I don't know.
but it's up to the council, it's not up to me.
Dealing with water lines, you know, something like that, if it broke tomorrow, people would be hurting in Dillon pretty fast. You know.
Oh, I agree, that's why we're doing it now.
Yeah.
Any other questions, comments?
Hope it works.
Hmm?
Hope it works.
You and I both.
It's kind of about a 25% hike on our bills, so it's like, holy crap. But, you know, if it helps down the line, like she said, it's, becomes a good thing.
Right. And also in 15, we kind of restructured how the water bills were calculated. At the beginning, or when I took over as mayor, the calculations was $5 flat fee for water, and I believe 5 or 6 for sewer. Can't remember. And that was just flat. Everybody paid that. Okay, and then it was, the water was like 2 or 180, maybe 180 for water, and the sewer was 275, I think. Okay, for 1,000 gallons. Well, council at that time, along with myself, didn't think that was fair. It should be charged what you use. So you use 1,000 gallons, you pay a flat amount, or not flat, but you pay so much per 1,000. So if you are a large user, you would pay a lot more money, you know, for the water. We thought that was the most fair, and that's what we changed. So really, it turned out, doing all that and restructuring some bonds, we dropped the charge about $15. People don't seem to remember that what we was paying before. We dropped it about $15 then per month.
I wasn't a homeowner back then.
Yeah, okay. But, and so we went through that, plus we got it spread out. So now if you don't use water, you don't get charged anything for that month. I have no idea how much everybody uses.
342 you get charged.
Well, that's true, 342, that's the part that we've decided to set aside, 342 per EDU per month, to try to collect to make sure we have money in there in case a main line breaks or it goes to crap. We have money that we don't have to then borrow, we run out and fix it. That account's sitting with probably about 500,000, it's 600,000. And then the one that we have to pay the money back for the sewer, that's over $1 million we have in that fund. But we can't touch that. You can't touch it for anything besides sewer. And I can't pay the bond for another 4 years. It was a 20, I can't remember, I can't remember on it. It was a lot of the, when you go to the public bonds, they make a restriction that you have a 20-year bond, but you can't pay anything off it until after 10 years. And that's what that one is, so we have to just collect the money. They also have a requirement, which we will have in here, that you have to take from the people 125% of the bond payment. So they're always guaranteed that you'll have money to pay.
That's where your increase comes from.
Yep,
Okay.
because you're just sitting there. After 10 years, there'll be a big chunk of money to pay back on that sewer bond, which should cut off a number of years. Calculation I have is like 4 years. Just then you'll cut it down, so. And here we have it structured, I don't have to wait on this bond or this loan that we're getting from the state revolving fund is structured that we don't have to, there's no early payment restriction. So if we end up with $2 million, we can just put that in, it's like they drop our bond, the loan by $2 million,
Okay.
and then they restructure.
So you can pay off the loan and get out of it quickly.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're not gonna get that much money to pay it all off, but.
No, but it's.
But we will be, here, it also will be this one, we got it structured that hopefully every year we'll be taking 125 or about 127 just to have a little grade, protection area. But that one, the way this loan's set up is then we can use that 25% and put it on the principal, which will then decrease it even more. Mainly it'll decrease the years.
Drop the rates too. It helps all the way around.
I'm not sure if we drop the rates, but it'll change how long it will be up there,
Right.
so.
You can start getting on to other stuff that's not, yeah.
I probably win. We just have an hour or so. I'm telling you guys all about all that we know here. I know.
So this is basically just trying to get enough money together to get the match, to get enough funds to do the project.
Now we're doing,
Pretty
the project is covered by the $12 that'll be voted on tonight. But
getting
this
some
is to
more-
get it down so we don't pay as much.
Get some more grant money, it
That's
helps
what
down
this,
the line.
yep, that's what
That's the
this
idea.
is for. Try to take it easier. There's money out there to be had at the Fed's gates. You might as well get as much as we can, and that's what
Might
we're
as
gonna
well.
try for. And this is not, somebody asked earlier, this is not the one that they're talking about, the infrastructure. That's something different.
Oh, the big infrastructure bill they're
Yeah,
talking?
that they're talking, it hasn't passed yet. This is from that $1.9 trillion American Rescue Act. ARPA, they call it.
It'll be interesting to see what comes up for roads and stuff. Roads get a little bumpy around here a little bit,
Yeah, but
especially in the spring.
this one, pretty much said you can only use it on water, sewer, or broadband, not streets. So, I'm not disagreeing with you, that streets are, they need help.
Yeah.
Well, does anybody else have any? What I'll do is, if there isn't any other comments, I'm not closing, I'm just gonna recess, but feel free.
Yeah, Mark Worden, I'm a property manager here in town, I represent about 14 property owners. And I think all my property owners understand that infrastructure needs to be kept up and maintained. And so, you know, I would say all of them would be in support of this. I did have one property owner ask me to ask this question. Does this $12 increase, is it designated specifically to improve and maintain the water system, and it cannot be allocated to some other project?
No, it's dedicated to just this project.
Just the water project?
Yeah, this project, not
This
even
one.
for other water projects.
Right.
Just this one.
Okay, so that will certainly help him feel better about this increase, and I will share that with him.
Okay.
So thank you for that assurance.
Okay. Yeah, we have a separate fund already created to keep track of all of this. It will just sit in that fund and use it for nothing besides making the payments to the state revolving fund.
Excellent.
Anything else, or any other comments? Otherwise, I'll recess and I'll bring it back in, it's about 25 after. Let's bring it back at 15 till. Okay, 15 minutes or almost 20 minutes, so I'll recess it. That just means you're kind of free to talk and it's not just on this.
Stevens Greenhouse and Floral would like to remind you that we are fully stocked for all your spring planting needs. Stevens Greenhouse and Floral would like to remind you that we are fully stocked for all your spring planting needs. Stevens Greenhouse and Floral would like to remind you that we are fully stocked for all your spring planting needs. Stevens Greenhouse and Floral would like to remind you that we are fully stocked for all your spring planting needs. Stevens Greenhouse and Floral would like to remind you that we are fully stocked for all your spring planting needs. Stevens Greenhouse and Floral would like to remind you that we are fully stocked for all your spring planting needs.
Session, whatever you want to call it. Again, this is the public hearing on the water rates increase to $12 a month EDU. Is there any person else or anyone, any further comment or statement, whatever?
You're a new person.
Are we here for the water meet or the water rate thing? Okay. Just have to ask. It's a new person that came.
She just misses us.
Right? I see no cookies. No cookies. Not even ice cream bars.
Tough on the waistline.
Whatever. That's why the shirt's untucked.
Well, seeing that nobody else has popped in, I'm making the second call for public comment, either for or con. Third and last call for public comment. Okay, public hearing is now closed. Thank you. The meeting will start at 7 o'clock.
To, I don't like